Nick, real pleasure to speak with you. Congrats on the Pout-Pout Fish. I
Thank
had to
you.
ask when a studio says we need someone to voice an ocean pout, which are not the most classically handsome of creatures, and Nick, you're our first choice. What's your reaction? Are you offended by that any?
That's a very astute question, and it's funny that it's not the first time that people have said, we need we need an unattractive person. We need a guy, who is eating too many cheeseburgers, whatever the case may be. And they say, and we couldn't think of anybody but you, Nick. I've learned to take that in stride and understand that I can still have a very attractive personality while being the perfect casting for Mr. Pout Pout Fish.
And this is actually a really good role. Family movies can be quite touching, and the flashback scenes and the growth that Mr. Fish actually has in this film, I found quite affecting. There's a really nice story here. What elements of this script really stood out to you?
Well, that exactly what you said. I was not familiar with the books, which as soon as I got offered this and I asked people about it, I became aware of what a juggernaut this title and the series of these books and how popular they are. And with good reason, because the messaging is just so good and simple. It's a perfectly boiled down fable of this guy with low self worth and a conflict between neighbors about fixing up a neighborhood that requires opening one's mind, elevating one's self opinion, and then also understanding the need for diversity in making a neighborhood strong.
And I love Mr. Fish and Pip's dynamic throughout the film. They couldn't be more opposite in terms of energy and approach to these situations. What did you like most about that back and forth between those two characters?
Well, selfishly, I just was over the moon with getting to work with Nina Oyama, who, I hope she becomes a global superstar from this movie because she's so funny and so ebullient. I just love her infectious brightness. She's unflappably funny and positive, and I love having that in my life. It's funny, even though I'm rather dour, I also am known for my disposition around the house that, you can't get me down no matter what. Even though I don't smile nearly as much as Pip, I definitely carry that ideology of there's nothing for it but to keep trying. We have to keep trying to spread love, and no, even if they strike us down, we can't give up. Otherwise, the bad guys win.
You have a very well-defined baritone voice. So when they approach you for these roles, obviously they want you to sound like yourself rather than do a voice or a type of accent for most of the time. So how do you approach these roles and keep them feeling fresh?
Well, the same way I choose my on-camera roles, which is just by being inspired by the writing. And so, when I play, a 19th century American president, or I play a modern day, Parks and Recreation director, I don't think about how is this guy going to sound different from this other guy, or how, one guy's going to have a mustache, one guy's going to have mutton chops. I just think about what serves the writing the best. And in this case, it was a no-brainer because the writing required, it sort of brought me down to it. Like it slowed me, made me strive for a more depressed sound and a more pouty sound of my voice. He's the main thing he says is blub blub blub, and so that colors my voice in a way that when the writing is good, it answers a lot of those questions for you.